Okay, let's play in this qualifier. Where'd my camera go? Hello, camera. My camera went missing. That's problematic. Where am I? Hello? Weird. Alright, well, let's try re-adding that. There I am. Why was that so hard? Okay, here goes. The ladder wasn't ready for this deck. Let's see if the qualifier competitors are. Yeah, it's fantastic. I actually got to bed early last night for once in my lifetime. Feeling fresh. Got a handful of core spirit dancers. Let's do this. Music is slightly loud, okay? Let's turn that down then. Thank you so much. Alright, what is our competition? Is it Phoenix? Would not be surprised if this event was closing in on 50% Phoenix is an exaggeration, I guess, but maybe 40%? People love their blue-red. Uh-oh. Alright, mono-red madness? Burn? Being on the draw against a deck full of burn spells is not ideal. Okay, so it's mono-red madness. This matchup is one of the ones I really didn't want to face, actually. I think they're kind of in an incredible position against us. I will start with Sram here. Sram is my worst Spirit Dancer effect, so given that my first thing I play out here almost certainly dies, I'm going to try this, and then hopefully Spirit Dancer plus Ghost Form can hold down the fort a little bit, but opponent's deck is going to have at least 8 burn spells, some of which can be cast basically for free for like card advantage if it's Fiery Temper. And they also have a bunch of big evasive creatures in the form of Phoenix. Not an unwinnable matchup by any means, but it's not a matchup I like very much. Like, they could be holding up this Magmatic Channel with a Fiery Temper and I'd be in real trouble. Okay, they just cast Blazing Rootwalla, which is kind of a weird thing to do with a Magmatic Channeler, but to each their own, I suppose. Okay. Well, let's hope they don't have the second Unholy Heat. That was a pause like they might, but well, we'll have to try. Okay, they have Bomat Courier up at all times, actually. This isn't necessarily Unholy Heat. Sick. Okay, that's really, really good. We're at 12, and their deck contains 4 Fiery Tempers, but we have a 2/4. They're nowhere close to Delirium. And if I can go like second Spirit Dancer into Rune, then they're gonna die really quickly. This Thoughtseize isn't very good. Post board we get much better against them. We just get to bring in a bunch of kill spells. Alright. Blocking the Courier. Obviously, they're just going to discard their hand to this, but it's fine. It's whatever. Can't let it accumulate more cards, and even if I do block the root wall, that like opens me up to maybe getting smashed by Unholy Heat. Did they just discard 2 Fiery Tempers? God, I hate this deck. It's actually fine. 2 Fiery Tempers is not that big a deal because we have the Kai's Ghost Form down, but they could also just send these at my face, which is like a super legit thing to do. Kind of curious as to what's actually happening now. Do we just send these at my face opponent? You can put me to 6, and I don't have much in the way of main deck life gain. Yep. Okay. No, I respect this. This makes sense. They have 2 more Fiery Tempers in their deck. They've got a bunch of Managorger Phoenixes. You've got Dragon's Rage Channeler, which is not a card I'm exactly capable of blocking very well. When we get some runes in, thanks Mr. Hyde, get some runes in after boarding, that's going to help a lot. Get some removal in after board, we cut all these stupid thought seizes. So post board we should be in a much better position, but that was yeah, I think we're just going to die. It's going to be real tough. Especially in Pillar of Flame? Yeah, that's rude. Amalan's really painful. Yeah, just not looking like our game today. I'm gonna attack, I guess. The only hasty creature they have, I think, is Bomat Courier. We've got 2 blockers for the thing, and anything that kills one of my creatures is just gonna kill me at this point, because they have Delirium anyway. So I expect we are 99% to be dead. Like, now we need to find a copy of Reprobation next turn, just to stop Dragon's Rage Channeler. Yep, alright. Quick and brutal. Quick and brutal. Ride or die, the Orient Piles were not good enough, unfortunately. Alright, so we want Mire's Grasp. Hushbringer does not do enough against this deck. Rune of Sustenance looks amazing. And Rune of Sustenance probably just replaces Rune of Might, which is kind of expensive. We get rid of all the Thought Seizes. Inquisitions I don't necessarily hate, because it is nice to be able to get rid of some of the removal spells ahead of time, but I probably just don't even do that, right? I'm probably just going to plan on breaking through all the removal spells with Luris. Deadweight is a little tricky. Like, if I get it off early, it can kill stuff. It doesn't really stop It doesn't stop much, though. It doesn't kill Magmatic Channeler, it doesn't kill DRC with Delirium, it kills Bomat Courier, it can kill a Blazing Rootwalla. I guess it's good enough. Alright, yeah, let's just bring in Auras, cut all the discard, and that's actually a pretty straightforward plan. But yep, still a tough-looking matchup, especially if we end up in Game 3 and are on the draw. Okay, hand has a million removal spells, but unfortunately no creatures, so we got a mullet. That'll work. Gonna dispense with a... I think it's Cartouche rather... Actually, probably a Sentinel's Eyes? It's kind of close. I kind of like the idea of having Smooth Vigilance. Let's just discard that. Pass. Sure is Metal Fox, but you know they got people playing from all over the world, so I don't mind. This Too Much Hateful Eidolon looks phenomenal here. Really into Hateful Eidolon. Right. Yeah, I'm just gonna jam this and throw a Cartouche on it, and then the Bomat Courier is not gonna be doing anything here, which is great. And just building a giant Hateful Eidolon is not an unreasonable strategy. Thanks, Elysium, by the way. Enjoy your day. Okay, opponent's got nothing going on there, which is cool. Let's, do I just Kaya's Ghost Form this Hateful Eidolon? They can't really discard a Fiery Temper at instant speed unless they have a Lightning Axe or something. I kind of don't hate just going in on this Eidolon pretty hard. What do they have in their hand? They can't have Fiery Temper. Or it wouldn't matter if they did. They could have double Unholy Heat, but I assume they would have just gone off on it here. I mean, maybe they have a Braid or something, in which case, I guess you got me. Oh, they do have double Unholy Heat. Okay. Great. Glad we got those out of their hand. We draw a card, we get the... We don't get the Eidolon back, but I do get to go for... Cartouche here? This says Vigilance, so we can attack, and again, the idea is basically stopping Bomat Courier from getting in and doing stuff to us. Second, we draw a third land. We should be in pretty darn good shape. Opponent not having a fast start means we might have time to get Luris out eventually. More of these, okay. Alright, so here we'll just go with SRAM. I kind of still expect this to die, so we'll start with the weaker one. Should have attacked first. Chandra, Torch of Defiance. Don't love that, but hard for them to keep it around at this point. That's a good draw. Okay, so we'll go. Okay, losing a couple of Bowman Couriers is nice, and now we get Spirit Dancer Ghost Form, which is going to be a tough thing for our opponent to take out. They've got Fiery Temper doesn't kill this, they can't use Chandra. They've only got 2 Unholy Heats left. Aw, Dason, don't make me feel sorry for the Bowman Couriers. I have been bedeviled by this card ever since it was first printed in Standard. Although it was always fun to be playing Anguished Affinity and Kaladesh Standard and just blocking Bowman Couriers with Merchant Stockhand. Just felt like a battle of the unionized servos, or whatever. Okay. Alright. That went well. I think Chandra does not seem very good against our deck, I gotta say. Alright, on the draw, do I want Inquisition? Is there any chance that I want some Inquisitions on the draw? I could see all that glitters being a little bit poopy. It's nice to make a big creature, but also kind of a little bit more maybe. Like if I even have like a 2/4 Spirit Dancer, that's already like an incredible position that I found myself in. Yeah, I think we trim these and bring in the Inquisitions. It's tough. I don't know if that's correct, but that game made me want a little bit more stuff to do on turn 1. Since just sitting around and letting them build their engine is a sad time. Thanks, Brickblack. Yikes. Okay. Gosh, I can't even imagine playing this deck with 8 Spirit Dancers in it. Even with 11, it feels like we just have to auto-mulligan quite a lot of hands. Okay, we keep this. It's got Hateful Eidolon. Not that Hateful Eidolon is amazing, but... Wow, I just realized Demonic Vigor says return to its owner's hand. How did I not realize that before? This card is kind of sketchy AF. Alright, well, Demonic Vigor is going away. Blazing Root Wall at turn 1, that one's fine. SRAM! Alright, SRAM is an excellent way to distract our opponent. Or an excellent way to punish our opponent after they have been distracted by Eidolon, that is. Attack with Root Wall, there's no way in heck we're blocking that. Sure. Okay, please don't kill SRAM, I guess. Uh-oh. I feel like they have Bullies and Root Wall up at all times, but they can also kill SRAM. That's... Yep, we might just, if I draw a land next turn and put Luris into hand, that might give us a shot. Bomat Courier's a nightmare. Man, maybe I just want more removal in the sideboard somehow? It just feels so terrible to have, like... Oh god, Inquisition of fucking Kozilek. What did I cut for this again? How stupid am I? Oh no. Oh no, chat. Oh no. What did I cut for Inquisition? I cut, okay, all the glitters, so that wouldn't have been helpful at all either. In fact, Inquisition was better, for whatever it's worth. But, this is not a good scene. Like, best case scenario is I draw Spirit Dancer, I guess, and then they just Draw 2 cards, kill it with Fiery Temper. Rune of Sustenance. Yeah, I'm literally dead. They're gonna hit me for 4 next turn, discard Fiery Temper, kill me. Ouch! Well, those were some poopy draws. It was, generally, if you draw a 7 and then you mulligan, you've got... it wasn't even that poopy a draw. 22 lands. You're always going to hit the 3rd one. You're always going to be able to, slightly below average draws combined with a pretty terrible matchup. It's just... a lot of decks are not going to have 10 1-mana removal spells. Hopefully. There are decks in the format that have 10 1-mana removal spells, and we might play against more of them here. Mono Red Madness, Peter Duress, a known horrible matchup. Do I keep this 1-lander with Double Inquisition, Core Spirit Dancer? Frick. Got 2 turns to draw a land, 21 lands left in the deck. My odds are a little too high of missing. God, alright, well, we'll keep this. This is not substantially better. I think we get rid of Sithis. Yeah, it's tough. This is... I definitely don't love playing low land count decks. And, yep, this is... no, Peter Duress. Izzet Phoenix, I think, is very good, which is the reason I'm playing this deck. What's bad is not hitting your 2nd land drop. That's very bad. So no chance of winning that game against that start with the missed land drops, and we might as well give our opponent less information about what we're playing. Rune of Sustenance doesn't seem that important. Hushbringer seems very good. I think we just get rid of the discard spells. Do I want Reprobations and Heliod's Punishment in addition to all this? I could see Alcides of Life's Bounty being not super useful. Yeah, I got more Hushbringers in, so I think I actually cut some of the derpy aura creatures for more actual auras that do stuff. Particularly a card I'm worried about would be like Archon of Sun's Rays. I don't even know if these decks play that out of the board. I think I like this. Yeah, Izzet Phoenix generally only has 4 Unholy Heat and maybe a Pillar Flame or 2. The big difference between Izzet Phoenix and Mono Red Madness is their deck is just a little bit more dirtily, so you have more time. If they're spending their early turns killing your stuff, you can get Lyris into play more easily. But cards like Bomat Courier just make it much harder, I think, to play against Mono Red, in my very limited experience. Like, this deck's worst matchup is decks with fast clocks and a bunch of removal. So we're hoping to avoid red-black as well. Thanks, Bartister. If I lose out of this qualifier fast, I'm probably just going to end up preparing tax information for one of my employers, so hoping to... God darn it! Alright, we'll keep this. This is good, this is good. This is a good hand. This is fine. Keep 6, dump Sithis, I think. It's possible I'm just supposed to dump one of the lands there, but... Okay, Deadweight's a great draw. Okay, so this deck does mulligan very well. You have to mulligan quite a bit with 22 lands, but you do mulligan very well. And this turn probably just ends the game on the spot. Alright, Skyclave Apparition. That is a card that, you know, can get us if we don't have the Ghost Forms out yet, but we've got a whole lot of value going on here. I guess they have another Skyclave Apparition. Maybe I could just die to that. We'll see. They can't blink it in any way, so this is fine. I guess one problem with Reprobation, I'm realizing now that I played around with the auras in the sideboard a little bit to cut a Baffling End, and I'm realizing now that, like, Brutal Cathar is a really good reason to be playing more Baffling Ends, huh? Awkward. Cartouche of Solidarity. Alright, so this is just going to be Reprobation the Brutal Cathar so it doesn't flip. Also turns it off of being a human, which is nice. Alright, well, opponent had 2 of their exile spells right away. Let's see if we can get through them here. Got 6 cards in hand. Opponent's clock is not especially fast. Thalia is only mildly annoying at most. Luminarch Aspirant's pretty decent, but we have some wars that can shut that down. And any kind of Spirit Dancer effect here is just great. Okay, so this turn is going to look like... I think I'm just going to Reprobation the Luminarch Aspirant here. I think this adding a bunch of power to their board every turn is kind of hard for us. And we'll jam Lyris. Obviously, we don't get value off of it jamming it this way, but I'm just going to hope my opponent doesn't have a third Skyclave Apparition effect in their top 13 cards. Because if Lyris can stick around, we get a giant lifelinker, and that's pretty good. Okay, opponent's also tapping off of being able to block when I have a Sentinel's Eyes in my graveyard, which is an interesting choice. Okay, and we drew Sithis. All of this is great. All of them. Oh, we have Deadweight as well. Forgot about Deadweight. Sick. Okay. Oh, we could have taken out Brutal Cathar. That's my bad. That's we should have just taken out the thing that was... I guess this actually has a Sithis under it, so we'd have just lost our Sithis. Never mind. There we go. It was fine. We weren't thinking about it, which is a little bit of a punt, but I think we're still fine. Alright, so now we're just going to ruin the Lyris here, I think. Could Cartouche the Lyris. Let's Cartouche the Lyris. Have another blocker around just in case. We could also draw into a castable aura of some kind, like a... Cool. Giant Killer. Okay, that, was not a card I was considering at all. Oops. Maybe should have been thinking a little bit about Giant Killer. Awkward. Okay, I'm gonna block the Skyclave Apparition, I think. Man. just not even remembering what cards are in all the decks. Ugh. Okay, Deadweight's a fantastic draw. That lets me take out the Giant Killer here, I think, is what I would like to do. Go SRAM here, because it can actually block this turn. And we Deadweight the Giant Killer, which takes out their ability to tap down whatever large creature I'm trying to kill them with. Hushbringer is going to be really good for later. Attack with Sithis? I don't think so. Our hand is so full of juice right now that we just need to not die. Peter Duress, Bad Naturals, Philistine Enchantments. I guess anybody who decided to sideboard against them seems tough. Henry Olivia, Yellow Hat Stream. Somebody sent it to me from Yellow Hat Stream, but Yellow Hat got it from someone else. I don't know who Yellow Hat got it from. Okay, so the question is, am I keeping this list together? This could be another matchup where I cut all the glitters and just bring in some runes. I could see that being pretty reasonable. We're not really... This is very much a grindy matchup. Hateful Eidolon's not very good against a million exile removal spells. In theory, we could try to bring in some discard just because the, like, Skyclave Apparition type effects are so bad for us. But the... I don't think that's correct. I think our answer to Skyclave Apparitions and such is just to have more creatures and have Hushbringer. Yeah, I don't think we want discard spells against the Esper Sentinel Thalia deck. It doesn't seem like a good way to get ahead. No, very never. We have Trample. Rune of Might has seemed very good to me and haven't felt the need for flying so far. Yep, classic 5 Aura's hand. This is very good, though. I like this hand a lot. Snap it off, and we're going to get rid of SRAM here. I want my 1-mana removal spell. I want my Hushbringer for their Cathars. In fact, I'm just going to play Hushbringer right now. No need to apologize very never. It's a reasonable question. Ginky, who's, you know, one of the best Auras players out there, does actually play enchantments to fly. Dason, does Hushbringer stop Ghost Form? I don't think it does. I think Ghost Form says leaves the battlefield, right? I feel like it shouldn't be stopped by this. Right, we'll do this, and I'm going to jam Sithis here, because I like gaining life, I think. God, Hushbringer is sick. Hushbringer does stop Demonic Vigor, notably, but I think I should have cut Demonic Vigor here if I didn't cut... I probably didn't cut Demonic Vigor, did I? Should have cut Demonic Vigor. Okay, so they've got... This thing's actually mildly discomfiting. Because it can transfer... The transformability is something that Hushbringer doesn't turn off, which is awkward. Let's just draw a bunch... I could reprobate it. I think I just want to go Deadweight, actually, because if I Deadweight it, it flips over and dies instantly. Yeah, we can do this. Let's actually Spirit Dancer here, because I wouldn't mind attacking with a Spirit Dancer next turn. Put a Deadweight on this thing. So we'll, of course, have to pay some life. That's fine. We're going to keep Thalia alive, which conveniently turns off our opponent's ability to company here. And then their Moonrage Brute flips over and dies instantly. Cool. Yeah, the humans matchup seems like it should be quite good. They are going to have company up, but it's hard to imagine carrying very much. I'm trying to think what they could bring in. They could bring in, like, Elite Spellbinder, I suppose? Let's start with Rune of Might on Spirit Dancer, I think. Tough call. I could see this going a couple of ways. Like, killing Thalia might have been a reasonable way to start this turn as well. I should have just killed Thalia. I don't know why I didn't kill Thalia. I was dumb. Yeah, so of course, watching out for Giant Killer. They didn't have company. That's good. Next turn, we really got to start by killing Thalia, because Thalia is kind of crimping our style a little bit. I don't know why I didn't do that. It was just, I'll just punt here. Could definitely use some more lands too, you know, at some point. At some point. Let's Kai's Ghost Form the Hushbringer here, just extra layer of protection. Very much playing as a prison deck here. And we will go ahead and Ghost Form the... It doesn't really matter. Spirit Dancer, whatever. Makes it vulnerable to Giant Killer, but also brings it back immediately if they have a Giant Killer. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there's a part of me that just wants to play 4 Hushbringers. It's probably excessive, but Hushbringer is, when it's good, it's really good. Okay, let's try keeping a 7 here. That's my goal for this match, is let's keep a 7. Opponent's got a Thalia Avatar, which is a good sign, good sign. Sick hand, really, really good hand. Mono Green Snow. Okay, you've got my interest. My attention, whatever. Elves. It's elves. Okay, this should be pretty doable. What am I taking? I guess it's just Coco, right? I just let them have as many tokens as they want and kill them with a core Spirit Dancer? I think it's gotta be the vibe. Yeah, if they had only one War Master, there would be a real chance I'm supposed to take War Master there, but... Elves actually might be kind of tough. I could picture elves being kind of tough. They go very wide, War Master gives them a bunch of damage. We're going to kind of need a reprobation, except for they have 2 of them, so even that doesn't really do much. Post-board, when we bring in a ton of removal spells, things get easier. We also have Hushbringer, which is, of course, really good against their deck as well. But yeah, they're going to go really wide, and if they have one of their, like, mana multiplying effects, it's going to be tough. We get to go Sithis. Shouldn't really matter, they're not kind of removal. Okay, Sentinel's Eyes is nice. Sentinel's Eyes lets me start applying some pressure. But don't feel like we're very likely to win this one. I think they're going to end up making enough stuff to just go away. Okay, yeah, that's already bad. That's already a lot. Oh wait, I can double block a War Master? Sick. I will definitely double block a War Master here. Thoughtseize, not so helpful now. Alright, so we'll start with Sentinel's Eyes. We don't have any Rune of Life gain main deck, so I think we're pretty much dead. Does Sithis bail us out? They've got... Nah, we're super dead. We can't actually win this one. But post-board, things get much better, I think. So we get Hushbringer, which stops Elvish Warmaster, stops Sky Shroud, Lookout. I guess stops Elvish Visionary if they're running that, which I assume they probably are. Stops Dwindon's Elite. Yeah, I think this has to be right. Get rid of some of the discard spells, bring in all my removal. Cut the runes for lifelink runes, because they do go very wide, and we do want life gain to get around them. And I think cut a Demonic Vigor. They're not going to be packing much removal against us. We could even maybe cut a Ghost Form. I think this is enough. Yeah. Maybe I'm supposed to play one Rune of Might? It's possible. I guess I have Hushbringer for flying. We have all the glitters in the deck still. We should be fine. Yeah, stops Craterhoof. That's a thing that I guess they might be playing. There's not really a stock elves list. So, gotta be ready for different things. Stops a Reclamation Sage, which can kill Sithis. This hand looks great. Gonna go ahead and just get this one down right away. And the question is, do I jam Hushbringer or Spirit Dancer? Suppose it's just Spirit Dancer. Yeah. For this turn, we'll start with Spirit Dancer. There's not really a question about it. Okay, so Jasper Sentinels, the other thing they do, this can block flyers. Let's keep a note of that. Just gonna go ahead and slam Sentinel's Eyes on the Spirit Dancer, which gives me a good attacker right away. And then Hushbringer and hope that slows him down a bit. Elves is interesting. I have not played with this deck yet. It's very explosive. It seems interesting. Like, the main problem with it, obviously, is it struggles a lot against sweepers, but you'd think that there might be some way to get around that. Okay, so are we going to get the Hushbringer big, or are we just making really big Spirit Dancer? I think we go for really big Spirit Dancer just because we have the Lifelink runes in now. And of course, we have Alciated Life's Bounty out, which can kill our opponent pretty easily out of nowhere. Yeah, so Elves, obviously a little weak to sweepers, but it feels like there should be enough, like, green card advantage tools in the format that's not necessarily, like, prohibitive? I don't really know. Okay, so the real question is there some kind of Death Touch elf they can bring in? I don't think so. What would have Death Touch in the mono-green Elves deck? I can't think of anything that they would realistically play. Like, they're not going to have Tajuru Blightblade in here. I don't think. The 1-drop. What's the 1-drop? It's just Tajuru Blightblade is the card I don't think they're going to have. So they now have 6 mana potentially. Yeah, we have First Strike. Never mind. You're obviously correct, noob skills. There's never a world we don't attack there even if we are afraid of Blightblade, but... Okay, so they can now... They have 5... Okay, they have exactly enough mana to give everything Death Touch with War Master, which is cute. But they're also dead to all that glitters. And Alciad here. So I don't think it matters. Oh, I have First Strike anyway, so it's kind of hopeless for them no matter what. Let's just go Spirit Dancer. All the glitters on the Spirit Dancer. Yeah, I think when we have the lifelink runes, then we shouldn't need trample. And this should be lethal. Yep, because sack Alciad, give pro green. Cool. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't... The thing you want to be a little careful with against this deck is you do want to make sure you're not cutting too many 1-mana auras. I mean, in this deck, because you don't want to cut too many 1-mana auras, because it can be a little awkward, make your turns more awkward. I still think we want to cut at least 1 Ghost Form, possibly 2 Ghost Form, for just more copies of the things that shut down War Master, because War Master is so much better than all the other cards. Yeah. With the Deadweights in, I think I'm comfortable just like having Infi removal for their stuff. Like, Clan Collar is also annoying. We really want to kill Clan Collars before they start getting more Clan Collars, that sort of thing. So I think we'll just go hard into lots of removal. Yep, hand looks great. I think this is a hand that starts with Hushbringer before we cast Sithis, so that they can't Reclamation Sage our Sithis. I'd be very unsurprised to see them have Reclamation Sage. And Allosaurus Shepherd, that's another example of a card we really want to kill when we see it. Let's just jam... Yeah, we'll jam Hushbringer here first. I guess they could have some kind of a plummet type effect. But we have a second Hushbringer if that happens, so it should be fine. Sentinel's Eyes on Hushbringer. Chunk. Okay, War Master's Deece, but they don't have another 1-drop, which is extra Deece for me. Let's start with Reprobation on the Clan Collar. Into Helad's Punishment on the War Master. The reason we're doing it this way, not the other way around, is that the War Master is summoning sick, so they can't actually start removing task counters yet, and that's a big deal. We don't want them to be removing task counters right now. They have Jaspera Sentinel, but it's too small. But let's remember, in case they have another lord, that Jaspera Sentinel can, in fact, block Hushbringer. Yeah, Allosaurus Shepherd does not seem that great against us, but of course I have no idea what else they even have in their deck. Okay, let's start with Cartouche on the Hushbringer, I guess. We could be sending... I think I like making the flyer a little bigger here. Then we'll Myers Grasp the War Master. It's possible that I'm being like a little bit too blasé with just throwing out all my removal spells against them. And we'll go ahead and Sentinel's Eyes on Sithis for a bit of extra damage, I think. I like the idea of having like 2 good-sized creatures attacking them. Worth noting, we of course can cycle our Sithises, or Sithai, if we need to. Pretty handy thing that you can't do with SRAM. And we'll just jam the Courtyard. Okay, but it's now at 4 mana, they can Coco. But they don't want to. Okay. A Coco into 2 Lords might have still been a threat, given their hand was pretty bad, but it was going to be real hard for them to come back from that. Okay, two creature decks, two pretty easy wins. Let's keep it up. Yeah, you'll get basic game commentary from me, Evie, but it is a little too early maybe to expect a lot of great in-between game banter chat. On the play, no auras is a little awkward, but if we draw a single aura, the hand goes off super duper hard, and we do have a lot of auras. Huh. Well, this should be a good matchup. Do I take Llanowar Elves? I have so many creatures. I don't really care about Bone Crusher Giant that much. My opponent getting to start jamming Collected Companies early seems kind of awkward. No, let's just take Bone Crusher. Close call. Could legit see it being correct to take the elf there. Reprobation. Awesome. Love it. We'll start with... I guess it's just Spirit Dancer. Reckless Stormseeker. Alright. So that card's in Gruul now, huh? Got me. Kaya's Ghost Form. That's pretty outstanding. Alright, let's just go with Spirit Dancer Ghost Form. We're going to save the Reprobation for a turn. I don't really think we need it too badly with a 2/4 Spirit Dancer here to block. And okay, yeah. So, Stormseeker plus Coco is interesting. They're not using it. That's okay. They just wanted to flip it and cast it instant speed. I guess that makes sense. Let's go ahead and Reprobation the Slasher, I guess. I guess we're going to flip this over anyway. We don't really need to Reprobation it. Probably the best play there was just Cartouche. Yeah, Cartouche also gives me more flexibility about how to spend my mana if I draw, like... Well, we're certainly not low on Spirit Dancers. Cartouche here, we can make a 3/5 first striker and a 2/4, or we can have a very large first striker. I think I like very large first striker a bit more here against Questing Beast in particular, or like Embercleave stuff. Let's find a land here, shall we? No? The answer was no, we shall not. Okay. Alright, let's see if they have anything special to get off of company. Nope. Oh, they're just straight up werewolves. Okay. Cool. Straight up werewolves. We are certainly very good at turning it away from being nighttime. This does not seem like the best way to build Gruul to me, but I guess they probably have some of the Qasali Pride Mage Werewolf, whatever that's called. Crap, now what? Guess I just keep Spirit Dancing, and hopefully we hit a land this time. Yay, got there. Can't cast anything, but I like lands. I just like lands a lot. Okay, if they hit like a bunch more Lords of the Ulvenwald and have an Embercleave, maybe we're in trouble, but it seems tough for them. It seems tough for them. Discard a spare Saram. Oh, Tovalar. That's cute. But it's daytime, but I guess it goes back to being nighttime if they can play another werewolf. Again, really convenient the Reprobation turns off creature types. Ranger class. Okay, that makes wolves. So it is nighttime now. We've still got a 5/7 first striker. Wait, is it nighttime? You can throw 3 or more wolves into our werewolves. Oh, it's upkeep. It's an upkeep thing. I see. Okay, so this is going to be... I think it's all that glitters on a... Actually, I can Sithis here. Should I be Sithising or should I just be playing as many auras as possible? Yeah, we'll start gaining some life here, I think. We can actually just all that glitters. Maybe just all that glitters the Sithis, because that way we don't have anything that important that can be stomped on. I don't know. Feels hard to lose at this point. Eventually we're going to draw a Trample Aura and just kill them. Sentinel's Eyes is also great. We actually get to start doing stuff now. Okay. So, Hushbringer stopped Burning Tree Emissary, but nothing else that important. I think we don't bring those in. I think it's another matchup where Rune of Might is less important than Rune of Sustenance. Is that true? Yeah, that's true. In general, I think Rune of Sustenance should just be in the main deck. Rune of Might's really good against specifically Jund, but I think Rune of Sustenance is better almost everywhere else. I guess Control, Rune of Might's a little better, but not in a way that seems like it matters that much. Alright, so we just get all of our killer auras in, we cut the discard again. Yeah, and everything we've been playing on the ladder is a creature deck. Like, I understand the principle of just wanting discard spells in on average, but I don't know. I have been citing them out every time for just more removal, because a lot of people like creatures on the historic ladder. He said, yeah, this deck definitely plays more like Uno than most Magic decks. This hand is excellent. Wait, our opponent put us on the play? I just noticed that our opponent put us on the play, and I'm a little confused. Llanowar Elves. Alright, so we gotta decide whether we're jamming... So we could just jam SRAM and hope they don't kill it, or we could go for, like, Deadweight Alseid, and then just make a giant Alseid if they don't kill Alseid. Kind of a close call. I think I like just killing Llanowar Elves, jamming Alseid. Stops him from getting like a turn 2 Tovolar down. Less devastating into Bone Crusher Giant, and now we just go off, of course. I'm gonna put SRAM out of Stomp range, I think, over getting the Alseid bigger here. Yeah, Werewolf Pack Leader is a good one, but this game is over. I think we'll just be mana efficient here and go for Reprobation. Yep. Yeah, Partister, I agree. We've hit really good matchups the last couple of matches. I think Historic has a lot of really good matchups for your deck. But especially if you jump in relatively early in the tournament and play against all the people who are being aggressive. Although, of course, we're still a long ways from the end. I should be updating my record, I suppose. Okay. Yes. This one is almost tempting. Double discard spell into Luris. But I don't think we're really allowed to keep hands like that. Fuck, alright. Well, we'll keep this, dump the spare... Actually, I think we dump the Demonic Vigor here and just keep the spare Sithis in case they kill the first one. Hope to draw a green mana or Core Spirit Dancer. Green mana, love that. Love that, that's great. We lost round 1 to Mono Red Madness, which plays an awful lot of spells that can kill our stuff. Sadly. Okay, so this is... Anything with Hall of Storm Giants makes me wonder if they run Jawari Disruption, but... not sure I care that much if they run Jawari Disruption. Let's just run out the first of this. If they want to counter this and not have a land drop later, it's fine. I was gonna say maybe this is the Ether Gust main deck, alright. I might actually put it on top, come to think of it. Yeah, I think I like having some spare critters. Okay. So we're gonna start with a nice Courtyard, Thoughtseize. Is this a Mizzix's Mastery deck? Anything relying on damage-based removal is generally pretty reasonable for us, I think. Alright, they are in fact doing this whole thing. I guess we take Prismari Command. Yep, the Gear Hulky Opusy decks are definitely kind of scary, but you are capable of building boards that they can't really beat with Magma Opus, which is nice. The sad thing is that Expressive Iteration has a lot of removal spells it can hit. Actually, not that many. Actually, this is interesting. They do look to be pure... They do look to be pure Izzet. Which is not the most common way to do this deck. I wonder, is this my list from yesterday? This might be my list from my stream yesterday. Maybe? I don't know. Okay, well, time to see if they found the removal spell. Nope, sick. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get Sithis out of Anger of the Gods range. Can't get her out of Magma Opus range. We can Thoughtseize away a potential. We can Thoughtseize the Gear Hulk in case they have Opus here. Oh, they're Epiphany, I see. Okay, do I care about Gear Hulk? Gear Hulk gets back Windfall? Yeah, I think I just snap off the Gear Hulk here.
We need to become Aaron Gertler.
This is definitely a matchup where I'm happy to have Thoughtseize over Random Mire's Grasps, so keeping that in mind here for sure. Cartouche of Solidarity is a pretty nice way to not accidentally get killed by Hall of Storm Giants, but I could use a Core Spirit Dancer or an All That Glitters to really... Oh, crap. No! Ether Gust is so good against Kaya's Ghost Form. Monka S. Ether Gust unfair. Reprobation not very good at all. Why are they playing so many Ether Gust in their main deck? Like Humans exists. Come on. Well, we're probably in trouble. Wow, if we had just had Core Spirit Dancer instead of Sithis, their hand was so terrible this game. They can discard it, of course, but their hand, you know, they cast Ether Gust on turn 2 to stop our first Sithis, for example. And they haven't shown us any actual burn spells all game. Although if this is Anger of the Gods, it's problematic. They could also just cast a Gear Hulk. Yeah, this matchup seems possibly pretty tough. I mean, those board, we cut some removal, bring in Duress. I don't know. We'll see. Feels like it could go either way. They're about to possibly iterate me, and even Thoughtseize doesn't stop them from iterating me, but like, what else am I going to do? Let's start with Reprobation on this 1/1. Cycle this. They don't have any good creatures anyway. Found all the glitters. That's good. See what's going on in this hand of yours. Double Iteration. Archmage's Charm. Yeah, I think we're dead. Once we have runes in, we are capable of gaining so much life that they can't really, you know, necessarily get through us with Iteration Epiphany. So we'll attack with Sithis because it's not big enough to block Hall of Storm Giants. Even if it were, we would probably attack with it anyway. Keep the little guy around. I guess we had the option to take Epiphany and took Gear Hulk. If we had left them with Gear Hulk, they could have Ether Gusted my Sithis, though, and I think we're still dead to that. They do lose a bunch of treasure here, which is good. We are almost dead to Hollow Storm Giants if they have a land, but not quite. We take 4, 4, 7, go to 2. I should probably be considering how Archmage's Charm works if they steal my stuff, my auras. I guess it doesn't really do anything against any of them, probably. Yeah, we're not doing any, like, Spirit Linky stuff. Iteration into Windfall? Mizzix's Mastery for Ether Gust. Why did they... Oh, they get to cast it twice, I see. And they get another turn after this, too. That's another Hall of Storm Giants. Yikes. Gotta bother them to this. Gotta find some action. No Sentinel's Eyes yet, really sucks. Yeah, I don't think these decks are at all good in Historic, by the way. I think it's just like a much clunkier version of stuff like the Is It Opus deck we were playing yesterday. But, yeah, we're almost certainly dead here. We need to find like a cartouche off the top so we can keep blocking the Hall of Storm Giants. Luris, we can recast Luris and cast, nothing. Oh, we can actually recast Luris into cast Luris into Cartouche, which I guess technically keeps us alive. I really doubt it keeps us alive long term, of course, but we'll try. This is the real deal. We might as well... Ooh, actually, we put Ghost Form on Luris, right? Yeah, we put Ghost Form on Luris. Okay. We're just dead to an Epiphany, of course, but we're always dead to an Epiphany. Okay. All right. The math works out. So, boarding against this deck, we're going to want Duresses, we're not going to want Reprobation. They could bring in Niv Mizzet, but Niv Mizzet still costs 6 mana, and we can discard it from their hand with Thoughtseize, so I'm not very concerned about Niv Mizzet. I do think this is a matchup where we probably want Rune over, like, Might over Sustenance. We're just trying to kill them quickly. Rampage of the Clans doesn't really do very much. Yeah, I think this is pretty much what we're going in on. Yeah, if it wasn't exactly opponent having 2 Ether Gusts against our 2 Sithises, this game might look different. Or if we just discard their Epiphany. It was still going to be tough, but at the time they had no Galvanic Iterations, and they quickly found 2 Galvanic Iterations. By the way, Bal 4i Trip, thanks for the follow. Rampage of the Clans is in the sideboard specifically for auras. For Enchantress, sorry. It's the way the Enchantress matchup works. I've never played it, but in theory this is how it should work. Is that you play all your cards, they play all their cards, both players draw their entire decks because neither player has enough removal to stop the other player from doing what they're doing, and then you play Rampage of the Clans, you have more enchantments than they do, you win. Oh, or you just kill 9 lives and win immediately. Right, that's how that works. God. Now we gotta mull this. This is much better. Glad we stuck with it. And I'm just gonna cut out Eidolon here and hope we draw an aura pretty quickly. We are on fewer auras than we used to be. Good. Bones got Ether Gust. I don't give a crap. We're gonna take Unholy Heat away from them here. We have no graveyard interaction, so Magma Opus is a big old threat, but I would not be surprised if our opponent had chosen to get rid of some of their graveyard interaction. or get rid of some of their masteries. It's the thing I was doing a lot with when I play the style of deck, is assume my opponents are going to bring graveyard interaction and go a little bit more control-y post-board. I guess Runamite does get hit by Ether Gust. That could be a reason we play Rune of Sustenance. Just make ourselves as gust-proof as possible. Okay, so I could do a couple things this turn. I could just put Lurrus into my hand. I could also jam another Spirit Dancer and be quite vulnerable to something like a Anger of the Gods. I think we just want to try and be as explosive as possible once I do hit an Aura. It's possible I should have played SRAM before Spirit Dancer, given that I had no Auras at the time. If they just cast Mizzix's Mastery this turn, I am going to concede the game, by the way, just so y'all know. Just so y'all know. Now, Galvanic Iteration as a card, I think, could be historic playable. This card is super strong and flexible, but I'm suspicious of the Epiphany plan. Rats Arena, I don't think so, but I don't really know. Going here with a Mastery, wondering if I have Cling to Dust. Okay, no, just Windfallen, sure. Yep, that Ether Gust. I guess, yeah, the Windfalls do make it a lot easier to do the Mana Dig Ether Gust thing. Okay, this is a good draw.
We need to become Aaron Gertler tonight, chat. That's the goal.
Thanks, Jofu. It's going pretty well so far. Duress is great. Love having a spell I can cast right now. Would love some more auras too, but beggars can't be choosers.
We need to become Aaron Gertler tonight, chat. That's the goal.
So, what's going on in here, opponent? They scooped! Oh my god, our hand was terrible. That was incredibly premature. I mean, their hand might have been really bad too, but that seemed incredibly premature. Also, I'm going to cut Runamite for Rune of Sustenance, just thinking about Ether Gust. You don't say Luke Uncaged. Yeah, I don't... I guess I can see it coming into a field that has no preparedness for it. It just seems real slow. Man, I should do a Rampage command, shouldn't I? Rampage is for Enchantress. You kill 9 lives and they lose immediately. Beerwiser and Joe K, thanks both for following. Okay, this hand is... No discard stinks a little bit, but, you know, it's a Spirit Dancer type effect and a bunch of auras. Can't ask for much more than that. Thoughtseize. Okay, my Thoughtseizing before I SRAM here. I think so. Obviously hyper mana inefficient, but if we can get SRAM and Ghost Form down safely, I'm really happy. Unexpected Windfall, Mizzix's Mastery, Archmage's Charm. We gotta take the Charm, otherwise we're not resolving a SRAM. So, gotta let our opponent have some scary stuff, but also maybe they just skip their entire third turn, which would be great. And Spirit Dancer is much better than SRAM, it kills really quickly. And we can put a Rune of Sustenance on it. Uh-oh. Oh, come on. Ah! Alright, that's disappointing. We'll be fine, maybe. But... Rats Arena, we can't cast Urza's Ruinous Blast unless we have a Sithis or a SRAM in play. That seems risky. Like, Rampage just kills them instantly. Like, they lose when 9 lives leaves the battlefield. So it doesn't actually matter. God. What a draw. Oh well, it is what it is. Windfalls immediately. Interesting. Okay, well, trying again with a slightly weaker creature here, but, you know, can still get to be a pretty big, hard-to-kill lifelinker. And I am just going to jam the Ghost Form again immediately. We just got to start, you know, ripping through our deck. And making all the glitters bigger if we can find it. They are still a little bit away from Mizzix's Mastery that brings out their whole graveyard, although it is a thing they'll be able to do at some point. So if I can draw all that glitters, how are they on Delirium? Land instant? Not very close yet. Okay, that's cool. I'm into that. Discard Epiphany. Dig a little more. One mastery down. That was interesting. I don't know what that was about. Got any Ether Gusts stuck in your hand there, opponent? Okay, how are we kicking this off? I'm going to kick this off with Sentinel's Eyes. The rune is the aura I most want to resolve, and so if my opponent is hiding something... Okay, now we'll go all that glitters, because it puts SRAM out of range of all of their removal if it works. Make sure we're tapping... Okay. Let's see if it works. If they want to get rid of SRAM now, they've got to use some treasures, which is good. Stops them from iterating Epiphanying me next turn. Okay, and now we're going to Rune of Sustenance and prepare to gain quite a lot of life. Like the giant life-gaining SRAM does seem honestly a little tough for them to deal with. Like, I don't think they have Brazen Borrowers, I'd be surprised at least, and their deck deals big but, like, limited quantities of damage. If they want to Iteration Epiphany here, they're going to lose a lot of their treasure. They can top SRAM with Magma Opus, but they don't have, they only have so many Magma Opuses. The Japanese played Divide by Zero. We haven't seen one of those yet, Luca Uncaged, so hopefully that's not happening for us. Yeah, Ratsarina, I could see Esper Sentinel replacing some of the enchantment creatures. I think that the decks that Esper Sentinel is best against are decks we're already pretty good against, but I could see it. It's not an unreasonable thing to do at all. Wait, did they just cast a Mizzix Mastery that wasn't overloaded? What was in their graveyard? Galvanic Iteration. Okay. I see. Alright, so they get 2 Epiphanies. They get 3 Epiphanies? They just get 3 Epiphanies here? Okay, does 3 Epiphanies kill us? 3 Epiphanies puts us to 2 life? Yes, Ratsarina, I know what Esper Sentinel does. You don't need to tell me what Esper Sentinel does. I think we're dead. We're dead to any extra source of damage they can put up, any Epiphany, anything. Yeah, no. This matchup, I thought this matchup might have been okay. Now I think about it, the fact that we can't interact with an opposing graveyard makes this matchup really bad. Yes, Ratsarina, it's extra draw. Our deck is very good at drawing cards, Rats. What our deck needs... I think what our deck needs out of 1-drops is 1-drops that are, like, doing something good for us even when we don't have... I'm just going to scoop here. There's no way in hell that we beat our opponent having three extra turns in a row. Okay. Yep, tough game. We just didn't draw any of our 8 discard spells. If we had been able to take out the Mizzix's Mastery from their hand after they discarded the Epiphany that one turn when they were open, they might have been dead, although we didn't know what else they had. The matchup seems hard. Hard to tell where we're supposed to, if there's even room in the sideboard for graveyard interaction. The main thing we needed was just to have a discard spell that game. Okay, sure. Turn 3 SRAM Ghost Form. It's a little fragile as plans go, but not too bad. Yeah, I mean, I might test Esper Sentinel later. There's a chance I run this back for the next qualifier if I don't qualify this weekend. But, okay, we'll SRAM here. Shouldn't have 2 mana removal in their deck, really. I still don't think Turns is very good in Historic. Still dubious on that front. Alright, so we start with Kaya's Ghost Form, because it stops Skyclave Apparition and Friends. Yeah, Ratsarina, that's enough discussion of Esper Sentinel. They're cards that do different things, and it's not that it's not a reasonable card you could play. It's definitely a reasonable card you could play, but I think it's important to keep in mind that the enchantment creatures that cycle when you cast them and also have some synergy with your auras are just doing different things in Esper Sentinel. It's not like Esper Sentinel is just like an obvious choice that you should play because it draws you cards. Okay, 2 mana up. Just looking for clue stuff. Jofu, people can sign up in the morning, play all day, so on day 1 you're probably safe to take breaks between matches. Day 2 I would try to play as quickly as you could. Alright, so we'll just cartouche the SRAM. Cartouche the Alciad? Actually, we should cartouche the Alciad here. Actually, I should be cartouching SRAM. What am I talking about? Alciad protects SRAM. I'm dumb. Oh well. And Demonic Vigor. Guess we'll put this on Alciad as well. Just get a little bit of extra lifelink damage in here. Opponent can't pump 3-bit Inspector at instant speed, right? The only thing they could have with Flash would be Containment Priest, and there's no way they're playing Containment Priest in the main, so I figure they're just cracking a clue. Okay, lots of Esper Sentinel fans in the chat. Yeah, something to test at some point. Like, I'm certainly not married to exactly one Alciad, exactly one Eidolon. That's not clearly they're like, oh, you gotta play this is the best. But I think those cards do have benefits that are important to appreciate. And in any case, of course, the deck can't be changed in the middle of the tournament. Dauntless Bodyguard. If opponent's plan is to make their creatures indestructible, I'm pretty happy with that being their plan. So here we'll just go Sithis. Cartouche on the... Could cartouche the Alciad, that doesn't actually help me much though. We'll just cartouche the Sithis, I think, and just make our board nice and flexible into a variety of things our opponents could do. It's possible I'm supposed to be going a little taller. And just jam Sunpetal Grove here in case we find a chance to use Alciad. Yeah, my aura placement here was pretty bad in general. Okay, so Elite Spellbinder. That one's fine. The flying is a little tricky if they have like a Luminarch Aspirant, but we're about to gain a lot of life if need be. Okay. Plans have been established. And they are just going on the flyer. Cool. Okay, let's just all the glitters up the Alciad. It's very removable, but I think the like 10-point life swing this turn has to be worth it. Oh, that's true, they can block sack. Oh well. I still think this is probably the play. We just didn't have anything else to do that turn. We could have Runabinded, I guess. This at least forces our opponent to have... This is the wrong land, chat. I gotta stop doing this. Wrong land. That could actually matter. Alright, so here they're gonna hit a Brutal Cathar, take my Alciad, I'm gonna be sad. Oh, they missed on Brutal Cathar. Okay, well now I look like a genius. Now we just look like a genius. They got Esper Sentinel instead of Giant Killer. That is an extremely ambitious way to go about this. And yeah, so like, I mean, a lot of sets throughout all of Magic's history have extra turn spells. There are a lot of extra turn spells in Magic. Just mention. It's not a feature of modern Magic specifically. I think people have mostly probably gotten better at playing Time Warp effects. Realized how good they are. At least I'm not married to that interpretation. Alright, do I double block a Ranger Captain? Yeah, Ranger Captains sacrificing and stopping me from casting spells all turn are kind of a pain in the butt. I'm pretty glad to be getting rid of Ranger Captains. Okay, so Sram's back. Do I Rune of Might the Alseid? If I Rune of Might the Alseid, we're not going to kill our opponent this turn. I think I want to go a little bit wider, is that true? Honestly, I don't hate Rune of Might the Alseid. And do I... How much power is on the Sentinel right now? It's 1. How much do I want Sentinel's Eyes? I don't think I need Sentinel's Eyes that badly. Let's stop them from drawing a card here. Not 100% sure about that line. Yeah, it's going to be dangerous. I mean, they've got a lot of flying power. We are gaining a bunch of life here, but if they can Brutal Callous the Alseid, Ranger Captain Eos can, like, shut us down for an entire turn, which is definitely scary. Mad Leggings, this is in fact the deck I found last night. Okay, Giant Killer happens, we get Alseid back. Alseid being able to make something pro-white, though, means there is a good chance we just actually kill our opponent right now. Depends if they sack Ranger Captain here ambitiously. They attack with Ranger Captain. I'm going to block that with a human. Yeah, I think there's a very good chance we can just kill them with Alseid here. Let's go with Sentinel's Eyes first on Sithis? No, we have to get pro-white. Oh, we have to get pro-white, so that's not going to work very well. That's actually awkward. So this plan doesn't work as well as I would like, but this being a huge first striker is kind of nice. Yeah, I think I want to start attacking at least against the Spellbinders. We'll go ahead and pay the tax here. Our opponent seems to be running out of stuff to do. It's a lot of ghost forms. Alseid plus ghost form on Alseid is kind of interesting, huh? Is it? I don't actually know if it is. Yeah, this game has been a little bit too advanced for my level. Is there a world where I just like put Lurrus in my hand and try to get all the glitters back next turn? I just put it on Alseid again? I could honestly kind of see it. Let's gain some life. I think I want to do that all in one turn so our opponent doesn't like notice what we're doing. So this is a 3/4 Vigilance First Striker. Let's go with Ghost Form on this. Man, we have gone a long way without any Spirit Dancers today. I think it's worth the ping here to jam Ghost Form on... Let's jam Ghost Form on Alseid here. That is a lot of lands. Okay. Sithis comes in. Yeah, Sithis I think comes in pretty safely with First Strike. Yeah, they can tap with Killer. But we have a big Sithis which is attacking them and also a big Alseid which is attacking them. Did our opponent forget about First Strike? I think our opponent might have forgotten about First Strike. Maybe they're about to remember about First Strike. We've still got half the deck left. We're not in any trouble that way. Alright, do I care about 3-bit Inspector versus Esper? I'll leave them 3-bit Inspector, kill these other two. Gosh, if they were going to block with Thalia, I would have just attacked first. I didn't think that they were going to do that. Alright, opponent forgot about First Strike. We're going to discard some lands. Everything but Sun Petal Grove here, I think. Okay, so Ranger Captain plus Spellbinders plus Giant Killer is a good amount of stuff. They can attack me for 10, sack Ranger Captain, I go to 9. I can cycle a couple of Sithises to gain some life and gain more life with Alseid. So we're not necessarily dead. If they decide to spend their mana attacking with Lair of the Hydra, I'm pretty happy about that. That gains me extra life. Okay, they've decided against it. We could lose this one. We could lose this one despite our opponent's misplay. Largely because I never found a Reprobation or a Core Spirit Dancer. Alright, Sentinel's Eyes. So we get to play spells this turn. That's very good. Let's put some pressure on him here. What's my best move going to be? We can't protection from white because all the auras will fall off of this if we protection from white, so that play doesn't work. What I want to do this turn is find a Reprobation for an Elite Spellbinder, which will buy me a lot of time. Let's go with Sentinel's Eyes on Alciad to start off with. Force them to tap this one down. Lair of the Hydra's a big blocker. Okay, now they sack Ranger Captain. That is interesting timing. Really glad we got to draw 2 extra cards here. And we're not actually dead, because we do get to cycle a couple of Sithises. I guess I should have cycled Sithises before playing Core Spirit Dancer here. So I get to tap down 2 of my blockers, attack me with 3 creatures. I have Sun Petal Grove, so I do get to go for Sithis. So I can draw Reprobation off of this, or I can cast Spirit Dancer and have enough blockers to live. Let's enter combat, see what they do. They tap Alcia. They've got Lair of the Hydra, which just blocks Sithis and kills her. So she comes back off of Kaya's ghost form but loses all the auras, and I don't think attacking with her does anything useful for me. Next turn they get to go tap, attack with 3 creatures on the ground plus the Spellbinders, and I actually lose exactly to that, right? No, I can sack Alcia to stop the tap, but that doesn't... Huh, this doesn't work super well. Wait, we can sack Alcia to stop the tap and then Alcia comes back, so I think we actually have to pass. You know, if they have like a Coco or something, we're super dead, but this gives me a shot at winning. So they're going to go for tap on something. We'll sack Alcia to protect it. Alcia Ghost Form is doing a lot of work here. It's going to be tight. They had a land off the top. Their draw has not been especially good. They've hit 0 exile creatures and only 1 Coco so far. Lair of the Hydra's doing good work, though. It's the first time I've seen Lair of Hydra out of humans do literally anything. Okay. Okay, interesting. So this is the plan. I'll go to 1. It's not a bad plan. I need to draw both Reprobations next turn, but without our opponent having a Thalia in play, I have a really reasonable shot at drawing both Reprobations. Up! Okay, now we're dead. If they sack this, we're dead. That was a pretty good top deck. Whew, I take everything back about our opponent's draws not being especially good. This is pretty good. I don't think we have the tools to maneuver around this anymore, unfortunately. What an interesting game. I feel like we could have won this somehow, but I don't know how. Mostly just not being able to attack for a long time because the Spirit Dancer was really bad. Yep, can't stop the Spellbinders at all. We can attack with Alciad, but it's not going to be big enough. And we can't kill them here, because I don't have any non-creature spells to cast, so yep. Dead. Alright, fortunately, we get much better against them post-board. Oh, so Deluxe, thanks for the follow. We get Hushbringers, Sustenance over Rune of Might, we get Mire's Grasp, Dead Weight, we cut all the discard spells, and we cut Demonic Vigor, which does very little for Heliod's Punishment. Just have an endless, actually for a... Is Heliod's Punishment better than Reprobation? I think so. I think so. It seems about right. We could cut Hateful Eidolon as well. Yeah, I'm supposed to cut, I think, Eidolon for another removal spell. Okay. Whew. Interesting game, yeah. I don't know. Our opponent obviously misplayed a couple of points there. They could have killed us faster without if they had been sacrificing the Ranger Captains a little more aggressively, but... Yeah, I think getting Luris out earlier might have done something. Just having a large life linker that could potentially attack in those later turns maybe could have made a difference, but... Definitely challenging. Yeah, I can feel my lack of experience with this deck and with the format in general punishing me in a couple of games so far. There was no way we could have beaten the Mono Red Madness deck with our draws just being terrible, but maybe could have Epiphanied a little bit. Handle Epiphany. Opponent's not used to playing against us, trying to figure out their sideboard plan. Yeah, Mold 3, I agree. In general, I would expect Game 1 against humans to be kind of tough because of all their exile removal, but they didn't have any exile removal there. And it's not like we were drawing a bunch of Thought Seizes either. We mostly flooded and hit no Spirit Dancers, so we weren't able to ever make a creature big enough to pressure them while we were getting stalled out. Yep, great hand. Great hand. And yeah, Alcia definitely a little awkward there. Esper Sentinel. I care so little about that card. So very little about that card. Am I Spirit Dancing here? Definitely Spirit Dancing over SRAM. Okay, second Esper Sentinel. I mean, they're going to draw a lot of cards off of these, if I let them draw cards off of them, but I can also just decline to let them draw cards off of the Esper Sentinels. I guess putting SRAM first would have been nice. Yeah, let's just go Hushbringer or SRAM. I think I just play SRAM, and then next turn I can, I guess, Reprobation one of the Sentinels or something. But given that our opponent's missing land drops, I don't feel inclined to let them draw cards. I'm just going to chill. Baffling End is fine. Heliod's Punishment. Okay, let's go with... So they would need to hit another land to be able to, You'd have to hit an untapped white source to be able to kill SRAM here, so I'm pretty comfortable just doing this. And so this is a great draw in case they have another Baffling End. Baffling End's solid. It doesn't get shut down by Hushbringer. Pretty sure they're supposed to attack there, but it doesn't matter that much. Okay, so I think we are just Sithis into Sentinel's Eyes on SRAM. Definitely going to draw 2 cards over Hushbringer this turn, even if it means they could potentially exile something. We've got plenty of backup stuff. I just want to make sure we're continuing to hit land drops and also apply pressure. Deadweight looks pretty great. Okay, we'll see if our opponent keeps another one-lander. Probably not. Okay. Yep, still pretty happy with what we're doing against the Esper Sentinel deck. We don't want to discard spells. Hateful Eidolon. Hateful Eidolon's actually kind of interesting. Given that we now have the Deadweights and the Mire's Grasp in, having something to do on turn 1 is not the worst. It can maybe save us a few points of life here and there. I'm just not sure what I would cut for it. I think I want all 4 Ghost Form or the first Eidolon. Yeah, we'll stick with this. Sure, little land heavy, but can't really turn down two different Spirit Dancers and an Aura. Well, it wasn't a very interesting game, man, Leggings. You didn't miss much. Alright, flooding just a little bit here. Just a little bit of the old flood. Maybe that was supposed to be Sithis. I don't know. It's better to have... I feel like it's generally better to have Sithis in hand than Spirit Dancer, but... Or Sithis on board than Spirit Dancer, given that triggers off of more stuff, but it's hard to say for sure. Okay, opponent didn't have any plays, so that seems incredible. You are welcome to draw one card off of Esper Sentinel opponent. I will be drawing 2 cards here. And you're not playing Fateful Absence alongside Baffling End. Case in point. So they could just Coco into, like, 2 Brutal Cathars. Let's see if that happens. But Kai's Ghost Form, I guess, prevents that from being too brutal. Oh, good. Okay. I say good, I mean, obviously it's a little annoying, but we'll live. Hushbringer, lovely. A little late, but, you know, it's fine. Let's go ahead and punishment the Esper Sentinels, because I don't want my opponent continually drawing cards here. And then I think I want to just jam Hushbringer here. Slightly interesting question, but there's a good enough chance they've got like Brutal Cathars and stuff. Stops another Collected Company, stops a Ranger Captain, stops enough good stuff that I think it, you know, I could have Ghost Form the Sithis, had both these be protected, but I think I'd rather just not need to worry about that at all. Plus, I kind of want to put Ghost Form on Hushbringer to play around Baffling End. Coco again, but their Cocos are much, much, much weaker when Hushbringer's out. Ouch! Yeah, I mean, they brought in some Baffling Ends, I guess, but that's still... Opponent's having a rough match here. We are definitely the beneficiaries of ample luck. Though again, most of the cards they can hit off of Company are like 1/1s with no text. Or 3/3s with no text, maybe. Okay, yeah. Do hate to see it, though. I am sorry for our opponent's qualifier to have gone like that. As somebody who avoids playing Collected Company whenever possible, I fortunately don't have to live through that too often. But I feel it for them. Okay, 4-2. Update the record as we wait for a game. It's going to be tough, but potentially doable. Alright, let's go on the play here. Can be on the play here. Nice. Okay. Chaser, are you sure about that? Ghost Form should work when things are put in exile. Hushbringer shuts off die triggers, but not put in exile triggers. And our opponent's white deck was only playing exile removal. Ugh. Okay, well here's the interesting challenge. Can I keep Core Spirit Dancer Kai's Ghost Form 5 lands? I don't think I can. This is like a 5-card hand. This is much better. What do I keep here exactly? So the thing I'm trying to play around here is turn 1 Thoughtseize. I really want to keep both of these in case there's a turn 1 Thoughtseize. So I think I got rid of one of the discard spells because I also want an Aura to get things going, I guess. Yeah, I want an Aura to get things going. I'm going to get rid of Thoughtseize here. Inquisition is, of course, the same card as Thoughtseize without the life loss against the Luris deck. Opponent is doing Luris Burn. Okay, that is not what I expected, but cool. Let's take away... Oh, wow, this is spicy. That's a lot of removal. I guess I have to take Dread Horde Arcanist. Giving our opponent Leonin Light Scribe is super scary, but we'll do our best. Try to gain some life with Sithis, you know, get through this. Again, one of those games where post-board we have a ton of removal and things look much better for us. As well as the runes. Okay. So let's not put in the tapped land. That would be a really sad way to lose this game. Go for SRAM here. They're going to kill whatever we play. I mean, they're going to kill whatever we play regardless, but my hope is that they get really greedy and go like Unholy Heat, SRAM, Pillar of the Flame, my face. No, opponent's not being greedy. That's so sad. Okay. Just keeping Unholy Heat in hand. Rough. Well, I get to go Sithis, cycle Sentinel's Eyes, gain 1 life. We're obviously going to lose to Unholy Heat immediately, but this at least pressures our opponent to not have another prowess trigger on their turn, which saves me some damage off of Light Scribe. Opponent's deck seems really cool. I'm trying to figure out like what my natural objection is to it. I'm not even sure I have a natural objection. Maybe their deck's just really cool. Leon on Light Scribe is a powerful card. They seem kind of toasted against, you know, Deafening Clarion decks, but there aren't that many of those in the meta right now. Certainly we're not seeing very many. That'll do it. Died on turn 4. Died on turn 4 through Thoughtseize Double Creature. Really did want to be on the play that game. Okay, so Deadweight's Mire's Grasp, Reprobation, Heliod's Punishment, Rune of Sustenance, in. Inquisitions, Thoughtseizes. And Demonic Vigor's actually fine, I guess. Hateful Eidolon seems pretty bad. We'll cut that one, and we cut Rune of Might. Okay. Nibiza and Jeskai. Vigor is slow. What do you mean by Vigor is slow, Hatred? Vigor is a 1-mana aura. Inquisitions in general are just bad top decks, and then in general against when 2 decks that are very fast are playing against each other, that's usually a good reason to cut discard spells, especially because a lot of our opponent's spells are just very redundant. Like, if we take their, you know, if we take their burn spell, it's like, great, we took their burn spell, but they probably have a lot more burn spells. I mean, that's fine, Hatred. Do I care about that? So this is going to deal me 2 whenever I hit them with my Reprobation? I think that's acceptable. And do I just jam a SRAM? Do I jam a SRAM here? I don't think so. I think I am down to making my opponent tap out for something. Yeah, just in general, as a this is like a rule that goes beyond, you know, that just goes for Magic in general, as you want to be playing to the board more, into the hand less, in very fast matchups where both players are casting their spells quickly. Alright, opponent is chillin'. That is fine. I am going to go ahead and... Do I just put Lurrus into my hand? That seems a little too slow, probably. It is tempting, though, because if I draw a 4th land, I can go SRAM Reprobation whenever they play this turn. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to put Lurrus into my hand. Maybe this is really dumb. But I don't feel terrible about it. Our opponent also boarded out Lurrus to put in Leyline, I just realized. That's like a painful thing to have to do, but I guess Leyline against Jund seems important. Although, is it important? They have just have 4 Binding of the Old Gods. I don't know about Leyline of Combustion, just in general as a magic card. Okay, Arcanist down, sure. Drew, okay, that wasn't the land we wanted, but we'll just go ahead and reprobate this anyway. Do I want to reprobate this? What are they going to do, Pillar of Flame me twice? I guess they could Pillar of Flame me twice and just use a Pillar of Flame from their hand. I guess they could go Light Scribe and then Pillar of Flame me twice, and I'm taking a bunch of extra damage. But I only have 1 removal spell. But I am going to want to kill the Arcanist eventually. Alright. Having now made done a lot of thinking, I am in fact going to reprobate the Arcanist. Okay. But, I mean, our opponent is similar to the Mono Red Madness deck we played against recently. Our opponent has picked a strategy that seems pretty reasonable against us, which is just playing a billion cheap removal spells. Just going to Reparation this Hullscar Mage and Cantrip, take some damage, but we do want to make sure they don't have persistent threats attacking us. We, of course, lose Strand, but that's fine. They're down to 3 cards. We're still at a safe 16 life, and we drew a Sithis, which is the best draw in our deck. The other nice thing about their creatures all having 0 power is it makes it much harder for them to cast Light up the stage, which actually they probably don't have that because they're a Lurrus deck, but... Never mind. They are playing Light... Oh, never mind. You can play Light up the stage in Lurrus. What am I talking about? Okay, Lena and Lightscribe is very dangerous, for sure. But they're pretty much out of cards, which makes me a little less worried about it. Alright, well, we're going to go Sithis. Start gaining some life here. I don't know why they're saying nice. These are the cards in my deck, much like burn spells are the cards in your deck, opponent. Alright, so we force them to use the Play with Fire, which takes out a Lightscribe trigger, which is really important. Draw a card, and there's not really... I don't think I want a shock to play Rune of Sustenance on a land. I want this Rune of Sustenance for later. But now we've got Lurrus into Sithis next turn, and there are certainly ways they could kill us. If they draw like another light up the stage, we're in a lot of trouble. But I feel reasonably secure. But I'm thinking whether they're going to use Ramen Up Ruins here. Second Lightscribe. Alright, terrifying. Genuinely terrifying. Heliod's Punishment. Really, really good. Okay. Huh. Alright, so if they draw 1 burn spell, we take 2, 2, 4, 4, go to 3. So this is just going to be Lurrus into Sithis. And then even if they draw a burn spell off the top and kill Lurrus, we can potentially win. Lightning Helix is fine. Oh wait, we go to 1. Okay. I have gone to 1. They are 1 off of using Ramyap Ruins. Scary. Okay, so this turn I'm going to want to make a Giant Lifelinker. Giant Lifelinker is going to have to be the plan. Can't cast anything on their thing or Leyline kills us, so let's just start with Rune of Sustenance. Hey there, Tammy. Welcome to the waking world. Drukai's Ghost Form, cool. So all that glitters here. So all that glitters gives me a 3 power... So we need Sentinel's Eyes, I guess, plus all that glitters. So we'll do this. Ideally drawing a land at some point, but even if not, that's fine. We'll go Sentinel's Eyes now. Onto this. This should put us in a safe spot against anything except to light up the stage. Yeah, anything but light up the stage. And even light up the stage, we probably are fine. Mongoose, 2 1-drop auras on Lurrus. I don't know that it gets out of burn range. I don't know what burn spells our opponent's playing in their deck. Like, they could have brought in Lava Coil, they could have brought in Baffling End, for all I know. Okay, I don't think the Leyline was very good for our opponent that game, but the Leyline's a great reason not to be playing discard spells. Although, having played that out, I kind of might just like Hateful Eidolon. I think I like Hateful Eidolon over Rune of Might here. Just having an extra lifelink or an extra creature they have to burn out seems really good. Okay. Tricky matchup, especially on the draw. Their deck is really cool. I'm super into it. I would not mind getting knocked to the tournament by a deck this cool. Henry Olivia, were you saying for the last turn of that game we played that Sentinel's Eyes is first better against removal? Our opponent's hand was empty. Is my challenge to that call. Okay, this hand needs black mana, but I don't think we can mulligan it. Yeah, Mongoose, I mean, I kind of know the format, but I don't know our opponent's deck. I know many of the decks in the format, but there are definitely, you know, decks that play stuff like Lava Coil in their sideboard to deal with creatures that are too big for the standard burn spells. That's, you know, been true for red decks forever. Opponent double mulling is really nice. They put Lurrus back in, so they're not leylining. That seems like a pretty good choice. Although, their stuff doesn't really die against us very often, I guess. Okay, so we're sort of on a double mulligan ourselves until we find black mana. We do have a lot of black sources. And it's just, our opponent's deck is very much a critical massive spells deck. It's hard, seems tough for them to... Okay. Well, they're definitely going to kill Saran, but I think I have to make them do it. I don't think we just sit here not doing anything. Like, I would prefer they not be able to, like, cast a free Light Scribe this turn. And now if we draw a land, even if it's not a black source, we can go Spirit Dancer into something. That's not good. Alright, crap. Do I just have to keep distracting them? I think I just passed the turn? Yeah, I think we just pass the turn and try to land a Spirit Dancer plus Sentinel's Eyes while they're tapped down. Opponent thinking about shocking me in the face here? Unholy Heat their own Arcanist, makes sense. Makes sense. Get it in the board, in the graveyard for later. We really just need a third land. Any third land is very good here, I think. Black Source killing Dreadhorde Arcanist would be... Okay, never mind. Third land's still looking pretty good. Okay. Frick. Alright, well... We might as well start playing spells, because if we don't, you know, we're just discarding hand size. But yeah, this is... I said I wouldn't have mind losing to our opponent's deck. I am sad to go out like this. This is obviously a sad way to die. We could still win. A third land could still get us there. Like, they still don't have a clean answer to a big Spirit Dancer. But we are going to need the land, like, right now. Motherfucker. Alright, they've got Unholy Heat light up the stage in the graveyard. Well... Alright, we're gonna keep playing creatures and try. It's kind of hopeless, though. What was that? We whiffed for 5 straight turns on the third land? Pretty unlucky. Okay, so going to 10. Spirit Dancer into Sentinel's Eyes. They're out of burn spells, maybe? Alright, Concealed Courtyard. Is there time? Is there time for this? I think we've got to try and make there be time for this. If they have a shock in hand, we're dead, but we gotta try. Yep, that'll do it. Okay. Woof! Alright, well, that's the qualifier, folks. It is... Yeah, I don't know, whenever... Trying to just win this many matches of Magic without dying to screw is very difficult. It's, you have to be good and lucky, and we definitely could have been better, but I don't think there's any way we play these 7 matches of Magic with the deck we chose and go better than 4-3. With the draws we had, at least. There was no way for us to win that first or that third game. And I would pick this deck again, Peter Dress. I think this deck is very good. I think we just got incredibly unlucky to lose that last match. If we hit a third land anytime before exactly the turn we did, I think we beat them pretty easily. Oh well, $4. Well, thanks for watching, chat. We're gonna not be streaming anymore now. I'm gonna hold on to my top 1200 ranking for until the end of the season. Let's see who's playing, who might be good to raid. Have I played the new draft? I drafted it once. I'm not even sure I'm going to play the deck. I drafted it and then I realized it... I was very excited for it. And then I realized it just didn't seem that interesting. The fact that like a bunch of the cards are just unplayable because the synergies aren't there seems tough. Let's see. Who's playing in the qualifier? Who doesn't already have several thousand viewers? Anybody playing in the qualifier? Wow, how is no one playing in the qualifier? Alright, well I guess we're gonna raid Croakies. Generally try to send attention to people who are like not big streamers, but there's literally no one playing in the qualifier as far as I can tell.
To become Aaron Gertler
So we're going to
tonight.
go ahead and do that. Magician, thanks for the follow. Alright everybody, let's go check out this up-and-coming streamer. He's never qualified off of one of these before as far as I know, but maybe this is his lucky weekend. Alright, goodbye everybody, thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll have better luck at the next qualifier.